guess from the US. How did it do? We did okay. We survived. That's good. So if we just jump to exhibit 1. This is just the overall report. Page 2 shows you the market value at the end of December. I'll let you catch up to me. I skipped all that.
You skipped all that.
Actually, you know what? One thing I need to do a cheap plug. If you go back.
Yeah, I saw that.
For our breakfast.
Right.
So we're doing that. That is next Tuesday. Please come if you can. We got a couple folks, of our top folks from research there. So free breakfast and you get to hear our pontifications on things.
Good.
So please join us. So exhibit 1. All the way. Way down. It should be. You see that? There we go. Beautiful. So
Next page.
everybody's in compliance.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No issues there. Then flipping to the next page, you see market value. I'll go quickly through this. Market value 21,598,269. You see the various composites. One thing that will get a little more exacerbated when we see the current update is, obviously we are underweight on fixed income. Not a terrible place to be, underweight, but we're getting, at least when we printed this, we're getting close to that 5% underweight. So you will see my thoughts to address that, at least get us and make sure we're in compliance. And especially with this little run we've had the past 2 days, not that I believe in it, maybe you do, but they'll take it.
We'll definitely take it.
Great.
Fixed income actually has done well.
Yeah.
The last 4 months.
Yeah, we've been on a run.
Yeah.
So we'll deal with that in a second. If you go to page 5, just the overall summary of cash flows, just from a dollar standpoint. So you can see the various beginning market values at various points in time. Net cash flow is going to be negative. And then net investment change you see for the quarter. It's finally nice to report some positive quarters for clients. I haven't done that recently. And then you see the trailing 1 year is still negative, but everything beyond that it's positive. Jumping into performance. Let's go all the way to, should be page 8.
Was that our peak at 26 million? I think it was.
Should be,
wasn't it?
yeah, that's what that is, yeah. End of the year. So pages 8 and 9 are just the overall performance. So, I said for the month, December, pretty much everything was down except for floating rates, which is one of your newer investments, which is definitely benefited in this environment. But for the quarter, you see fund was up 4.8 versus 5.4, did trail your composite benchmark. And then for the year, fund was down 13.4 versus 13.3 versus 13.4 net of fees. And then that number beneath that is your ranking. So pain was felt everywhere. You were ranked 31st, but not really many places to hide. Fixed income for the quarter was positive 2.4 versus 1.9. Going down the list there, the one benefit of the pain that we felt last year is fixed income. We can actually talk about it with a straight face that it's actually part of a portfolio now that's going to help you hopefully moving forward. So looking at core fixed income, positive 1.7, that year number of negative 12.8 killer, and then core plus a little bit more on the upside and a little bit more on the downside. And then some of your plus allocations at high yield, that was positive for the quarter, negative 11 for the year. Preferred securities was positive 3.1, and then you see negative 10.8 for the year. And then floating rate. This is one of your newer investments. That was up 2.7 for the quarter and up 2.3 versus 2.3 for the index overall. U.S. equities, everything was negative for the month. Everything was positive for the quarter. Value continued to not only protect on the downside in the down months, but also in some of towards the end of the year, especially November, on the upside months, value outperformed growth, which we really weren't seeing too much on some of the upside. There it is. In some of the upside months overall. So big returns for value versus growth during this particular year on a relative basis. Non-US, next page. Negative for the month, positive for the quarter. Did trail the overall kind of combined benchmark. For international was up 14.7 for the quarter. FTSE All World Small Cap was up 13.1 and EM was up 8.2. So dollar last year, huge year for the dollar. Us as US investors, that puts headwinds for us investing. Things have kind of finally flipped a little bit to that degree. So now it's more of a tailwind as the dollar softens a little bit on there. So this year so far, non-US has been up double digits already to start the year. US, is up close to double digits after the most recent moves. We've had the past 2 days, and even fixed income's up about 3 or 4%. Getting your alternatives. So you said real estate. You see that worm has turned overall for the quarter. You have a negative mark there. The 1 year is still positive, and obviously longer term positive. Obviously real estate's going through pressure with interest rates, and obviously the housing market and overall real estate market that was extremely hot the past couple of years is cooling off for the time being. Our discussions with real estate managers, not just Principal, but all the other host of the main core real estate managers. It's going to be a tough year. There's kind of no way around that. But just kind of their view of things, look at 2024 as being kind of getting through it and hopefully back to positive returns in that 5 to 8% range. But this year, it's going to be painful. Kind of no way around that. And then private equity, I did get a positive mark there for the quarter, positive 2.5%. Didn't have the index at this given point in time, but that's been helpful. And in all downturns that we've had, where private equity has been a viable asset class, we've seen it protect to the downside. So we're hoping that continues. Not expecting it to be positive in the face of a negative year ahead, if that's the way it goes, but hopefully some protection there.
What's the lag time on the reporting of that?
Well, that's the quarter. So that, I mean,
But it doesn't show the 1 month. That's why I asked the lag time. It's
lagged by 1, so it adds a.
That's what I thought. Okay. So that was basically the third quarter number. Perfect.
Yep.
It'll all even out at the end.
yeah.
It just, when we're starting.
It's like 12 times.
Okay.
That actually adds
Okay.
And as a reminder, that fund, I think about 10 to 15% of that is actually what's also considered an infrastructure investment. So it's not 100% pure private equity. So infrastructure should, with the income component of that, that should be helpful. If you want to go back in time, relive the glory days, that's on page 10. You can see obviously this past year, the pain there, and then prior years, kind of the run that we were on in three years, basically in the teens from returns, and then obviously a negative 2018, and go further from there. Jumping ahead to do fees, so you have that for your minutes. Page 29. Also 28, if you're just interested in kind of the makeup of the Principal US real estate fund overall. I mean, Principal has done great through the years. They've followed demographics. South, obviously, a lot of growth there, and even still in the West, and even overweight industrial, which has done great, and compared to the various food groups in real estate, should protect pretty well compared to some of the others. So 29, you can see, add up all the fees, about 39 basis points in blue, the first blue line going across horizontally. So it's about 85,223 would be your annual spend on the investment manager fees, which is just a little bit below the industry median, just comparing apples to apples as best we can overall. They have our fee, and then we have Regions fee on there. That all adds up for an investment program of about $117,000 annual. Turning the page.
Why do we have Region? If they're the conduit, right?
So Regions now is the custodian for your Pacific Fund as well as your Vanguard funds.
Gotcha.
We switched to them due to much heartache and heartburn and various ailments that was being caused by the other provider. So flipping a page or so to should say City of Olivet, January 31st. So a couple things going on here. So we note on here, the note column, it is a little hard to see, but it says 500K redemption in queue for real estate that was approved. We're in line. And I was asked to give a hypothetical scenario if funds do come through in the next quarter, probably not. At this point, we would recommend 300,000 to the Principal 4 fixed income and 200,000 to the Principal 4 plus fund. Those both are underweight overall. Obviously, you draw funds from the core fund, so just, need to replenish that anyway. That's kind of just recommendation one. Second to that, if you look at the total fixed row there, as of January 31st, you were 25.4% in fixed income versus a 30% target. So we're really close to that 5% magic number where we need to add some funds to stay within compliance. And I'm guessing based on the market action of the past couple of days, we're probably right on top of that with the how much equities have gone up. So recommendation today is moving 450,000 from equities down to the principal core fund. So you can see 150,000 from the Vanguard mid cap value, 150,000 from small value, and 150,000 from the total international fund. Not taking you all the way up to target for fixed income. Not trying to do that, but at least getting you so you're not out of compliance with your guidelines. And like I said, right now, fixed income, the yield the worst on the ag is pushing 5% at this point. So you're actually getting some yield there. Overall, you're looking at all these, good treasury bonds, able to get over 4% for less than 12 months. Even a money market fund, I think I saw is like 4%. So we're in the olden days, it happened obviously pretty quickly overall. So we can actually say put money into fixed income with the straight face at this point. Obviously, Fed raised rates again a quarter. Fed raised rates a quarter yesterday, likely going to do a little bit more work, but the hope and belief is that we're, the heavy lifting is behind us on that. So that would be our recommendation. I have another note in there just talking about doing a non-principal high yield search at some point. We're still too early. If you do flip, so my comment on that, flip over. As you can see, the cushion right now is still about 1.2 million. Like I said, this is a tremendous stress test for what we had left in principal with just a horrific fixed income market. But if we were to pull all of the high yield out, that's obviously it's just too early to be able to do something like that. But that's just something that we're, obviously each month we get an update, and through time, we'd like to be able to address that, but it is just a little too early for that. So recommendations for the summary today. Hypothetically, if we do get the 500,000, we would recommend 300 to the core and 200 to core plus. But more pressing today would be those $350 removals from equities into 450,000 into the core fixed income fund, which is also where we pull monthly benefits and payments.
Question. That's fine. So go ahead. If you want a second.
I'll second.
Okay. So right now we are at 56.5% equities
Yes,
and 25.4 fixed income.
yes,
And we're supposed to be at 55, 30, 10, and 5.
yes.
Okay.
Principal, principal, we can't, that money's the real estate. We're in line to get the money out, but we can't touch that. Partners group,
What
we're
do you mean
also,
we can't touch that?
you're in real estate, it's in queue. So it's a private real estate fund. We put in for it last quarter. We have to wait until they determine that it's in the best interest of the fund.
Okay. So we can't, so that 500 that you wanted to withdraw last quarter, we
got-
put a request in, but we don't have it yet.
We got in line before everybody that now is saying, oh, crap, we need to pull some money out. So at least we got, we have a quarter on them. So then,
Gotcha. Okay.
so that's why
my
I can only,
question. Yeah, so you can't play
I can
with
only
that.
touch with fixed income and equity. So then also partners group. What Jonathan, remember you said?
And that is the principal US property.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes. And for partners, the initial setup for them, I think it's 36 months. Okay,
So
so
partners, I'm not worried. I mean, partners is
just so you know,
partners,
like where you can pull money. if you
Yeah,
need
no,
it.
I'm not. I
So
was
we're-
just trying to see if we could use the real estate to fund the.
It can't, yeah, it's kind of like Hotel California right now. So you gotta we gotta wait it out until likely, we are seeing some liquidity still from some managers. Principal has always been pretty conservative. Yeah, I mean, they plan more than others. I will say that. So that's kind of the,
Right, that defeat, that sort of, that.
yeah, sorry, I didn't fully articulate.
Yeah,
that.
that's
Sorry.
okay.
No.
Now I'm with you. Now I'm with you.
Can I
Right.
make a clarification on the motion?
Please.
So, Alan, you weren't here when we said, but there wasn't actually, we didn't take a vote last meeting on that 500,000 move. So if when you made the motion to do as what was recommended, the recommendation, Tom, would have been the 450,000 out of total fixed, moving or out of total equity, moving it into the total fix, and then also getting into the queue for that 500,000.
We got in the queue, right?
We are in the queue, but we don't have a motion to do
Gotcha,
it.
that's
So,
fair.
Okay, I
so I just want that part of the
feel like
motion.
we approved getting in the queue, but I didn't have any.
You didn't have a motion on it. That's the
Okay.
issue.
Okay.
So my question, yeah.
Okay. That's the only thing is I did it and then
Okay.
Okay, so,
it's all about me.
all right, let's, we got a motion on the table and then I'll come back to that.
Sure.
So is there any discussion? Everybody good with that? Or you, yeah, Barb seconded it, Alan did it. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? No, okay. Second thing,
Yes.
when will liquidity event, assuming, will they come to you 30 days from now and say, we're sending you the 500,000? Is it quarterly? When is the distribution?
It doesn't necessarily, it's not necessarily going to be all 500 at once. It totally depends on the market. And it could be this spring. They could say, okay, in 30 days, we're going to give you 200,000 or 500,000 or whatever it may be. We have a variety of clients in there, variety of clients and other principal products. So, we have a pretty.
Right, so let's say it happens April 1st.
Mhm.
Do we need a motion to reinvest that?
No, as
Okay.
long as you approved my preliminary, it was kind of a hypothetical, if the funds do come through. Next meeting, if we're doing the same dance, I'll have a note in there again saying, if the funds do come through in the next.
Well, what happens if they come through on April 1st?
Then we have, you approved the 200 and 300.
No, that was for the,
That was
Was it?
never approved.
no, that the 150 to 150 to 150
It's 450 in the principal.
is going to the core. We just approved that.
Okay, so in the notes column, I'm recommending 300,000 if it was the real estate RE, that would be 300,000 to core.
Do we want to put that, do we want, that's my question.
Yeah.
Do we want?
Please
do you
put that
still
in, yeah.
Want that in core?
Yes,
Okay,
300, well, it'd be 300 in core, 200 in core plus.
Can we take a vote on the first measure and then take a vote? So that
Still
we
be
have to,
underweight core, even with all that.
that's my question.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're still want to put that in
Yes,
the fixed income.
yes, and that's
That's
where you
okay.
pull funds from too. So it's
understand.
gonna keep getting
Yeah.
hit
Okay,
every month.
if we
that's fine.
can let's do a vote on the motion that gives us permission to do the 500. Alan made the motion, I seconded. Can we get a vote on that? Everybody in favor?
yeah, that's fine. I
Everybody
thought we
said
just did that,
Okay.
but whatever, that's fine.
And then do, if you want.
And then a second motion for that with that 500 when it comes in.
We're gonna,
Additional should have come in.
Yes,
we'll allocate 300,000 principal, fixed four, and then $200,000 for 4+.
Second.
all in favor, or any discussion?
Only question I
Yeah,
have
please.
is, does it make any sense to try to redeem for more than 500? Knowing that it'll be prorated most likely,
Well, that
or you run the risk.
your
of
amount's gonna
actually-
start coming down probably anyway, so we'll probably don't want to overshoot it. And then if 2024 is a good real estate year, and then we're trying to get back in and kind of whipsawing. So I'd say just stick with the 500. If you want to get cute on the recommendation, not saying do this, but in the event that in the next quarter, it's not 500,000 that comes in, maybe it's 200,000. Then obviously you have a recommendation for 300 and 200 and. What do you do with it?
I would just
Say
do
60% to
Yeah.
core,
Yeah.
40% to.
Yeah, I would
plus,
just do it.
And then. And then
Correct.
no question.
Getting the whole mission.
We're not a cute group. Okay, so do we need to add, Barb, do you want us to add that to the
So-
motion?
So it was, the motion was for the 300 to core.
I would
200 to
say,
core.
I would redo it.
To be done.
Up to 500.
I would just say 60% of any
60%, okay.
any amount that we get. 60% will go to core and 40% will go to core plus.
Okay,
Yeah.
And it won't be more than 500. That's all. I
Right.
have.
We don't even have to say 500 because
Yeah.
you're gonna get whatever you get,
Yeah.
whatever amount comes in. Exactly. That's my point. That's my point.
Did they grant any, they didn't grant any requests last quarter.
Last quarter, no. The last ones, they kind of slowed things up in summer into early fall was when they, and we have others that are still having liquidity on there. So it's, I said, they're conservative. So hopefully the ones that they got kind of locked up earlier than others, hopefully they aren't the last ones out either.
So I have another question about that, but we're gonna.
Yes.
Got a motion on the table first. Any other comments or questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. Okay, that passes.
Okay.
Okay, so if we didn't have principal,
Yes,
would we be in that fund?
yes,
You like the
it's a
fund?
good real estate fund. Very
Okay,
good.
so you like the fund?
Yeah,
it's
we have OCIO clients that are in that fund.
Okay,
It's a good fund.
okay, that's was my.
We're somewhat beholden to it anyway, because it is principal, right? For our buffer.
Yeah, you still need, yeah, if we get to a world where we don't have to be in principal at all, no issue if that's kind of the last remnant of the principal experience of you. And, the core fixed income, core plus, high yield, all that, we.
I only
Those
asked
haven't
if
done
there,
poorly.
No, not too bad. High
Yeah.
yields,
Right,
I only asked if there was other real estate options outside of principal.
that was what I was.
there
getting
are,
at.
yeah,
But-
there are.
Should we even explore that?
From a,
Given our buffer and the fact that this is the principal fund and.
I would not, based on your buffer status and kind of where things are, because right now you got 2.7 million, so, we would try to
It would-
diversify and try to put $1 million here that.
I mean, it'd be nice to have, obviously, the freedom to do whatever, but knowing that you like the principal fund, and that's good enough.
Yeah.
Anything else that you need? Or tell
Did I
us?
sign up for the,
Usually go. I haven't. Let me check.
Hopefully it's not on the
Yeah,
calendar.
you can just show up.
Please,
I mean,
yeah,
no one's gonna,
please check, because obviously we're having some senior moments.
my old email address?
no.
No, I
think
get
you-
bounced back if you do. I didn't get anything bounced back.
no one's gonna throw you out if you walk in.
She sent a notice earlier this week, there was a meeting and there were meetings, and the minutes didn't come out, so what's happening?
Okay, well, I've been traveling.
And that's not very, is
I do not, look at email
that a religious thing?
because I'm driving to.
Oh, okay.
I've got, I switched my insurance for my car and it tracks.
Geico, you're on Geico now?
Well, now I'm on Travelers every year, so. I'm in a 90-day period where it's judging me what I'm doing, and this particular app, like if I'm on my phone, I get dinged. Which
Oh,
is
there's
horrible.
Shannon.
I'm like,
Really?
a Boy Scout when I drive, not.
And so you get lower rates for those 90 days and then.
Well, yeah, then like, I play the dance.
How long have you
I
been
got
on,
like 15
Shannon?
more days. I'm so excited. This will be.
I've just been on for about 5 minutes.
Okay. I'll show you as attended so that you get the perfect attendance score.
Okay, perfect. And I don't know why my video don't come on for a while, so I had it on, but it just seemed to be delayed.
No problem.
Excellent.
If you're not on there, I'll make sure you're on.
All right. Anybody got anything else? Did you want to discuss anything else?
No, I don't know if, Greg, if you want to have anything to update the
Do you want to do it on, do
board on?
you want to do it on,
Well,
Meeting,
it'll
or
be
should we
quick.
close
Let's
the
do
meeting?
it. Let's do it.
or should we close the meeting and?
Do it on the meeting, and if we lose, we'll just close when we lose,
That's fine.
pop. So why don't you go ahead and go, Greg? He doesn't pop
All
on.
right,
Oh,
well,
I'm not saying, I
actually,
didn't know if you wanted
the
to,
only thing I
you guys
would,
don't stick around. I mean, you can hear what's going on and all that, but please.
so the only thing I would like to say at this point is I do believe this may be the last meeting you have with Barb. As I look out, I'm not quite sure, actually. But I just wanted to make you aware of that and to say we are all very sad to see her go, but we are very happy for her continuing on to live near family and enjoy her life. So I just wanted to say that and thank her for her service. This is actually the first time I've said this because this is the first time I realized this may be the last meeting you attend with her. So anyway, I just wanted to say that. And if you all have, anything, that would be fine. So that's all I got.
Gotcha.
You get a
Are
motion?
you part of this pension? Are you part of this
Grandkids.
pension too?
Yeah.
So the fact that it's gone down doesn't affect your payout, right?
I am just, not at all. I am just absolutely terrified to be doing this.
Good for you. Good for you.
But
It's exciting. We will miss you.
seeing grandkids, living by grandkids. so. Oh, okay. Well, we were gonna go to Italy for a few weeks, but then we've decided to wait until a little bit later. So. But yeah, hopefully. it's
When's your last day, Barb?
April 3rd.
Okay, all right.
Did you want a big party?
No. Mm,
Saw
It's
it
been
I saw
on
it
the weekly
Olivet
thing.
Twitter. Olivet tweeted it.
Oh, they did?
Uh-huh.
Get on that.
We have 2 in Portland, Maine and 2 in Providence, Rhode Island. The main ones just moved there. So we're moving to Portland, Maine. Where it's gonna be nice, where it's, the weather is more temperate and.
So you're doing what Ruth did.
What?
You're doing what Ruth did.
Right, yeah, moving
Yeah,
to where the grandkids are, exactly.
I'm not moving. I will visit. I am not moving. That is not happening. No, she won't either.
Yeah, we've got, most of July is already taken up with babysitting, so. The kids are going on trips and leaving the grandkids with us. so.
Good for you. That's great. Very good.
That's how I'm gonna make up, that's how I'm gonna make the big bucks. Yeah. Great.
Very good. All right, anything else? Anybody want to say anything? Same time it is every, it's the first Thursday. We changed that, remember, the first Thursday after the monthly quarter ends. So that because we used to, I don't know if you were part of it back then. We used to, we'd sit here, okay, when should the next meeting be? It's like everything else, I assume within Olivet, within your committees are all pretty much structured, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, I was like, why don't we do
Yep.
the same thing? So when I took over, I was like. we
May
gotta-
4th.
Yeah,
5
is that what
p.m.
it is?
Hey, I have a quick question, but it can be off the record and people don't have to stick around, but it's about the,
Stop recording, hold on.
yeah,
We'll
okay,
end the meeting?
Yes,
Okay.
meeting adjourned.
great, thanks. I think, okay.